Oh, nice farm.
No way, we have another off-road map, guys. This is
It's mixed.
Yeah, I doubt that it drifts, also that you have a real tech turbo.
Yeah, that's true. I also don't think so.
And the thing is, we have had 8 off-road maps in a row now.
Okay.
The last non-off-road map was full speed.
Nice.
But you can say, of course, that most of these tracks are also somewhat full speed, but of course different.
This looks quite transitional as well.
Yeah. Crazy thing is that we had 3 plastic maps lately. Within 5 days. Like plastic, we didn't have that for a long time. Or not often at least. And then we had 3.
Yeah.
I think I'll take the stadium pet.
Oh, that's the finish. Okay.
Mega lucky for me. But why on this map? I have 80 FPS on the seeding server.
Okay.
What's the GPS time? A good one. Then we will watch.
It looked quite decent. Wow.
I mean, the game is full screen, right? Yeah, it is. That's mega confusing. It's so laggy. Like, I didn't have it that bad since multiple days or weeks. Like, not on the seeding. It's always bad or gets much worse when we go into the knockout server. Oh, no, unfortunate Haken. That turn is so unsmooth to me.
Yeah, there are some turns that I didn't understand yet.
Yeah, in the middle, this big chicane section kinda is where I struggle most with at the moment.
And then on the grass, I always go too outside.
The one before that section.
I know all of them.
Okay, that's fair, yeah. Okay, I have at least also someone in my chat saying that the FPS are bad for him. Is it because of this GPS signage?
It would be pretty bad.
Or is it just many items, many different items that he used?
That might be a reason, yeah.
I mean, I have that plugin, that Open Planet plugin regarding the science and so on, so that should not be an issue. I think it's automatically activated, or should always be.
Yeah, but there are no signs here, right? So...
Yeah, there's this archiculture sign in the start. I don't know if that would make anything. This part's also something. Ah yeah, this would be the line, I think. Okay. But are the FPS for you normal? Because you didn't say anything.
No, I don't really feel any issues right now.
Okay.
They might be lower, but don't really feel it.
Ah, I knew it. That was the safest of one ever. And I crashed the very last corner. Fuck. Also, it was not even far away from world record. If I had finished it. Shit. But that means I understand the lines.
But it crashed at the ending, man. What is that?
It's 3 times slower than my previous run. That's not enough, of course. Typical. Yeah, okay. Wow. How many positions I make with that. At the moment I can also get a world record. Even though I have these legs. But they will improve as well, so...
For some reason I keep dying in the grass sections.
Yeah, I see that issue.
Again.
Hype beat now 3 times in a row. Unfortunate. That was the 6th start. Is it possible to no slide in last turn? Ooh, that would be a question for Kanadi. At the moment I was never thinking about it. If you have time double respawn checkpoint 3, it's very strange. 1, 2, 3. Ja gut. So you don't want to double respawn there.
What happens there?
You spawn very far off the map on penalty. Like far away from that checkpoint stripe.
But why?
Tja.
That's some kind of cut prevention. Yeah, I should
If it
also
is, then
be
it's a very bad
one.
Oh shit. It is actually surprising, Chris, that even though we have a gap of 1600, there are only 20 positions between us.
Yeah, I was also my run also didn't feel good. I was surprised that I'm that far.
I would expect people to be closer together, especially it seemed like it was that close from the beginning already.
Yeah.
I will not watch the records.
I will.
Wait, Max Truck was on my server and did a 47.8. I will watch the records.
Oh, there's a small drift there.
Until here I'm equal. It's in this part, obviously. What does he Yeah, it's just so unclear again for me if I keep grip or... It's a typical. Is the air brake there?
But they are all doing the small pre-drift. Seems to be quite good.
I don't know if I did it in my PB, but I didn't really lose to him in that section.
I mean, if you get a good line before, you don't need it, but if you have a bad line, I think it helps a lot.
I think I released, actually. I mean, if you pre-drift or if you release shortly, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Pre-drift is slightly better, I guess. Das Airtime hier, Mann, oh Mann.
Seems to be quite a lot of people having troubles with FPS. Now on this server I also have issues, but that's always for me in a couple of
days. Yeah, that's also always for me. For me it's now, well, 70 FPS instead of 80. Oh, this is even worse now. It's crazy. In the finished jump I have 65 FPS.
Okay, yeah, for me it's something like more than 100, but it feels so much worse. But I also turned it on after I finished. Maybe that makes a difference.
Whoa, Bonderator with 5 gifted subs.
Oh, it might also, do you see?
Yeah?
Yeah, sorry.
One of them to Alcon
anyone?
actually. Yeah, what did you want to say?
If you're in Cam 7 and like in the start of the round, you can see there's like one big, I don't know what it's
crop
supposed
field.
to be, a cornfield or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that before we started. And I also guessed that could be an issue.
Yeah, that's always super dangerous for FPS. Yeah, you can see it now, the orange thingy. Whatever this is supposed to be. Oh my god, I hit the thingy on the left. Might be out, should be out.
With interface on I have 60 or even less than 60 FPS. At the moment you're in.
Yeah, I'm still in. Others crashed as well. Yeah, that's so unnecessary, this field.
So Hagen, you did also a gift sub before Bonderator. So thanks a lot to you as well. Still no alerts? Yeah, sorry, I am at work every day. I had no time yet. You don't even know what I did yesterday, guys.
You don't even want to know what I just did.
Oh, I want to know.
I was too inside and full face planted a checkpoint. The checkpoint is actually plastic, that's interesting. So I bounced back and yeah.
Oh. Yeah, okay, that doesn't sound too good.
No. Yeah, only 5 seconds behind, should be fine.
Okay.
Surely.
Actually, I have now minus 3.4. I have a bad run.
It's not fun.
Not only that, Hagen. But yeah, I can say regarding the last puzzle competition, there is a story to it. Like after the deadline was reached, I mean, you remember on Friday there was this other cup, TTSC, and it took very long. And I did only have 1 hour after it to hunt, so I didn't really think about the map again. I just hunted, no? And when the deadline was reached, then I started thinking about it. No, that was perfect, right? That was the best solution, pretty confident. And then I realized something. When I went sector through sector, I realized something. And that was, my start could of course be a lot better if I wouldn't have this small extra jump onto the booster. So if I could get rid of that, but well, can I really afford a platform? From where should I take it? No? So now it's actually very easy, because there was simply only one section where I could take a platform from, meaning that I can only use 2 platforms instead of 3. Well, there are also only 2 blocks gap between the 2 checkpoints, so that it's fine to only use 2 blocks. The thing is that at that checkpoint I wanted to hit a triangle, and for that I needed to also come from more outside and so on. And that is why I probably always ruled out that only 2 blocks would still work. But then I realized, I should, like, the deadline was over, then I think about it on toilet, and then I was like, oh damn, I actually should look at that. So I looked at it, I looked at the start at first. If I added another platform, how fast is it? And it was such a big difference. Like how much speed the car keeps, it was such a huge difference. And then I kinda already knew that I fucked up, because I felt like there is surely some way. Oh wait, now I need to focus. eggs are driving me crazy here.
You're pretty not safe yet, but it's looking good. Now it's pretty safe.
Yep. So I was then thinking there must be some way to not lose that much time as I gain in the start. And what I now, in the end, when I build it and when I try to figure out the best possible set of the blocks, which is then exactly the same solution that Techie and Shorty had, and it is no surprise to me that we all have the same solution. It was way too obvious to build that. Yeah, also I had that basically, that was the first thing I built. The only differences were the small details to improve it, but the general concept was the first thing that I've built on that map. Just pure to logic. Just without even building anything, I just had my thought in which direction I wanna go, and it built itself basically. So it's no surprise that people have the same solution. And I also came up then with the same. And I hunted it then a little bit. And I did a like 952, but in what kind of shape? I mean, it was already far after midnight. I slept the 2 previous nights only 2 hours. I was already super tired, was hunting so hard for the deadline. Like my last 5 minutes before the deadline, I missed my PB with the old way 5 times by 100. Like, it was such a hard grind. And then basically over an hour later, I sit down again and I hunt again for 1.5 hours. Like, that was not the best moment to hunt, and still I got a 952. Still I got 300s faster time than Shorty. If I had done that earlier, that it would have been so possible to beat Techie, because I knew there was still a tiny bit more possible with that line. So that's felt like a bit thrown away, because I doubt that there will be no other puzzle competition in the near future where I immediately see the correct path. Even though we have to say that the other path that Lars took is of course very similar and probably can even have in the end the fastest time. But it was definitely a good path that I immediately had, and good enough for winning, and much easier to build than the other one. If the other part would have been the thing that I need to build for a good time, I would have struggled much more, for example, and I think there won't be easy puzzle competitions anymore where the way is so simple to find. I can also explain when I'm out a bit further what my idea was behind that. But yeah, that felt so stupid, because it was obvious that I make myself thoughts about the track itself after the deadline and not before. Like, I could have had 2 hours still remaining and I probably would have hunted 2 hours instead of thinking about it again. That was really dumb and kind of thrown away. I realized then basically that you gain a lot of time in the start, but you can actually get the ending in a way that you basically lose nothing. Despite losing 1 block less, you could actually go so much over the gap of the platform block, you could cut it so much over the hole basically, that you almost had the same line than in my older route with 3 blocks. So I basically barely lost something, maybe 500s, but I gained 3/10. Which means it was then a difference of 2500s in the end. That's kinda crazy. Yeah. Unfortunate. Such an easy chance will not come again. And next puzzle competition I will also be in holidays. Now the thing is, I only have to see, can I get the laptop with into the holidays. I mean, puzzling in the evening then when we're chilling or when it's bad weather, that would be easy possible. The hunting is then more the issue. With the perfect times then. Yeah, the building is also more annoying on the laptop, to be honest. I've always wondered if it's holiday for you without TM. It's holiday from TM then as well. Oh, Future Lingo, thanks for the raid and welcome everyone. My god, you were so quick, Lingo. You must have typed it in already. But yeah, if you wonder why I don't say thanks for raid or anything, go into the VOD and go 5 seconds past and then you will hear it. Also the welcome to all the new viewers is there. Just go 5 seconds back in the VOD. You can make a clip and then you hear it. Wait. In the holidays maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's very unlikely Marius is not streaming.
Yeah, but in the holidays it happens, sadly. And quite often then, I guess. Like when we're in Austria. I will barely play anything, I guess. Also not at 7 PM. Like it's always limiting too much. If the cup of the day was at 9 PM, there's a high chance that no matter if holiday or not, they would always be back in their apartment. And while my parents are then chilling on the balcony or in front of the TV, then I could just play. But 7 PM is always like dinner time and stuff.
Yeah, better enjoy that then.
And there will be some evenings where we play Monopoly or something like that. Wait, that's only a 10th away from my PB. It just randomly drove.
What's your PB?
I'm 33.
Ah, okay.
Is your alarm sounding in the background? With which alarm sounding? The last 4 KO rounds and Link is out. It was part of the music, Hagen. I didn't hear any alarm. FLL today or new season didn't start? I doubt that a new season starts there. I can check again, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. And because he needs to build, of course, all the maps as well. So I think he prepares that a bit more. No, there is at 9 PM a new competition, the Mew PG of the week. Mew with a cat. Yeah, it's basically the streamer builds a map in his stream for 30 minutes and then we play knockout on it. It's basically a very standard cup. I think I will attend it today. But I'm not sure if I am. That's the problem now.
Ooh, that's a big problem. Unless 2 people crash, you're out. 1 guy crashed.
Yeah, ships. Ah. I was slightly too strong the steering and then I had to counter steer which of course means I need to release massively in the corner. But yeah, it didn't make much fun. This map with the legs was quite annoying to drive, but I know there was a lot possible today. Also pretty far. Pretty sure that you can go pretty far on this.
Yeah, did you still have the legs now that far into the cup?
Yes.
Because I don't know, for me, usually at the beginning, at a knockout, I have some legs, and then once a few people are knocked out, it's totally fine. I don't know if it's the same for you in your knockouts.
Sometimes it gets better, but it was still pretty poor, I think. I mean, we can always see in the VOD what the number said in the top.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can talk shortly about the puzzle thing. Also, you know, the 4 checkpoints were basically in a circle. Oh wait, quick question. Is it possible to cut before second to last CP on the penalty quest? Usually you can answer that, Parhelion. Wait there. Also I think that this is the second last checkpoint, and there's the last though. So it will,
from second to last.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me. The second to last. Also Haken rides also slow-mo, but don't you have to get to this checkpoint somehow? Am I missing something? What else do you mean here? Anyway, it seems to be a close round. Here come all the guys.
Third to last. Over the, just go straight there next to the cornfield, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I also thought now. Oh, and
I
Down
don't
is
think that's faster.
Down missed the finish on the right.
Yeah.
And no trophies for Down. 9th place. Well. Alright, so, also what was the thing? Puzzle competition, no? The start and finish were in the middle, and there were 4 checkpoints. So the first thing, the first logical question was, do I take these checkpoints in a circle, or is there any other way that makes sense, like an X or some way where you cross a booster twice or something? Nah, I didn't see that. It had to be a circle. The next question that I did, from the start to the first checkpoint, do you want to immediately go into the checkpoint, or do you go around the checkpoint and then cross the checkpoint? Now the people that went to the diagonal checkpoint on the right, all of them had to go around it and then went into the checkpoint. That meant, however, that when they do a circle and they cross the last checkpoint, which was then always the plastic checkpoint for them, they will go away from the finish. They cross the plastic checkpoint in a way that they move away from the finish, so they have to do a second hairpin. And I knew, okay, no, if I enter the first checkpoint from the middle, like the direct way into it, whichever checkpoint it is, if I enter it in the direct way and then I make my circle, then I can from the last checkpoint also directly go to the finish. So that was the second logical thing that I've thought about. So I wanted to rather take the checkpoint direct. And another crash here, Plada Vicom. So, and the third thing that I thought about was there is wood. And I thought, like, wouldn't it be cool to use the wood once I am fast and once I like need a strong steering? For example, to get into the finish. What if the wood checkpoint was the last checkpoint to get into the finish? I didn't build anything. That was only my idea. It would be cool if that was the last checkpoint, because I can make a very tight corner directly to the finish. So, and with that, I knew if the wood should be the last checkpoint. And there's one fourth thing. It's, do I go like clockwise or anti-clockwise? Usually you want to go always like downhill, kinda. So that was also another thing. And that kind of fit all together to say, okay, if I want to have the wood checkpoint as last checkpoint, then I need to start with the upper checkpoint, the plastic one, and I need to do a direct way into the plastic checkpoint, not the hairpin that many people with 13 seconds did, like where they went around it. Nein, the direct way. And there is literally only one single block to build, to get quickly up to that height. There was just this wood uphill. That was the only block that was able to do that. So it kinda built from itself. I built the block to the only place where it can be so that I get up there. Then I have my block, and the next thing is I check, is there any transition into this plastic checkpoint? Is there any bank-to-bank transition? And there are only 3 different blocks that you need to try to figure that out, and yeah, one of them fit, so I had the transition found. And from that on, the map just built itself easily forwards, because obviously in the next checkpoints that were on the same level and so on, I just used the platform blocks, no, to not have additional airtime. The 2 wood blocks in the end were also super logical to build. And then I had 2 blocks left. The sausage one and the plastic one. Oh, that was too much penalty for Icarus, but he gets saved by Asax. So I had only 2 blocks left. With the sausage, I tried first the sausage. Saw, okay, cannot block mix it in a way that I jump up from it into the finish. But then I tried the other block, and I saw, it's not high enough, but yeah, I tried it and saw, okay, no, you jump up, and there it was. I literally had this block remaining, and it was exactly the one block that you need to have to get into the finish. It was basically perfect. It was automatically the remaining block that was still left. And that was the perfect block to build the finish. So the whole map went from itself. So it's no surprise to me that multiple people have that solution. It was just there. And it was for me obvious that the hunting will decide in that case. And if I had seen this one improvement of my run, then I would have hunted it so long. Like Jordi, for example, just didn't think that others have the same idea and didn't hunt it enough. And that's why he's second or third, actually, with Lars also ahead. But I knew that I kind of felt like multiple people have to have the solution, so I would have hunted it, also that solution. But yeah, that's why it's a bit unfortunate. But it's the first time that such a puzzle map, basically, I had it built in my head already before I even put any block into it. It was quite funny. It was also the thing, I started with that whole thing with puzzling on Wednesday evening. Then the next 2 days I had to work, so I only had the evenings on those 2 days. And I kind of wanted to start on Tuesday, Wednesday, but yeah, obviously I was not able to do it somehow. I started super late on Wednesday, and I was so happy on Wednesday night, before I had to go to work. I was so happy that I basically within 1 hour had already a really good solution and already a 10.33. Within 1 hour. I was like, yeah, nice. That was efficient. Alright, so, but now top 3, let's focus on the round. We have Visi, Icawolf and Holo. And they are very close together here in this round. At the moment, yeah. At the moment I want to say something, it's decided. 0.90 for Icawolf, 0.87, and a new PB. They did 87 and 92, it was a really good round. Until Holo crashed. Yeah, this is gonna be the final. Icawolf was close to get knocked out.
Would have been a perfect map for a chicken run to win, because there is already a chicken on first place on the podium.
Huh. Alright. 1v1. Visi versus Icawolf. The golden clan tags. for both of them. Very close fight. EcoWolf has from the beginning a slight lead, and he touches. But we see to inside. He will jump here, but he will not lose it. And with that, it's decided. Should be decided. Oh my god, I saw him crashing. That was the only section where he could throw it, I think. To full stopping there. GG. Point. A very
GG.
slow time. A very slow time.
Point a very slow time. The chicken one.
Yeah, nice. Alright. Just read the messages while I was talking. Okay. Yeah, also I can also open it shortly.
Yeah, I will be out then. Bye bye.
Bye. Uah. I can put myself just there. I also knew in the previous last puzzle competitions there was always a thing with start tricks. So I placed a few blocks into the start. I didn't find the start tricks that others found. But it didn't really matter too much because I found the booster. And the one block that is remaining, the sausage one, didn't really have a start trick that moves you forward. I think the sausage one didn't have that. There were other, like this block here had that with the plastic. The sausage one had only the trick that you can bug out of it, but I didn't really need to use it here. Yeah, and no, basically, that was the map. Here, start and finish. I said myself, okay, ideally, of course, I also start going forward and don't turn around at first, no? And this checkpoint here was just unreachable, especially from this side, because what I meant earlier is, no, if I go outside of this checkpoint and I make the circle, then I enter here and I have to go another hairpin. I enter the checkpoint, but I go away from the finish. But if I would somehow get like this into the checkpoint and make this circle, then I would end here and have a direct way to the finish. So I knew I want to direct go into. I saw then to the right that's not possible, so there were two good options. To the left down here, which meant that you have to go a bit up through the round, or directly up and then you can always just go down. These two options. Yeah? And I wanted to end with the wood to really use the wood. So I thought, okay, let's go up here. And I was literally just one single block to quickly go up, and that was this one. And my only issue, my only mistake has been that I didn't put this platform block here, which meant that I jumped from the booster, or this platform block here that I had to put in order to get rid of the booster side, that I directly, after getting only half of a booster, which is the bad thing of my strat, I immediately had to drop, immediately jump into an uphill, so I immediately dropped speed. And obviously it is a lot faster if you keep grip all the way and keep that speed. And you could even get around the corner. With a perfect small clip would be even perfect. And without that block here, this transition was way more inconsistent. You see how tight the transition is? It was mega inconsistent. I was clipping all the way, especially with a lower speed. So with this higher speed, this was even way easier to get. And when you have this solution here, Of course, the drop here is maybe not the most logical thing. At first you would like to try certain other ways where you drive down or no, where you have less airtime. But to be honest, the drop is very good because you can just jump the most direct way. So that is very good. There are ways to land in sausage or in this plastic block where you have less airtime and go through the checkpoint. But the problem is these blocks end here after the checkpoint and then you get airtime. No? So, I mean, ideally, I wanted to connect these two checkpoints just by flat blocks, no, to gather speed. So, I didn't really want to come out of something banked. No? So, I just dropped down here. And at first, I had 3 blocks here, one of these quarter pipes here, and then 2 of these blocks here to the side with the upper part here, so that I could come from here and make a nice corner through that triangle. And I knew if I have to now use a second platform here and I have to get rid of one platform, then it has to be here. And yeah, how do I build that with 2 platforms? Can that even work? The most logical thing is this solution. But yeah, getting then here over this edge and into the triangle with the speed that we have is something, but of course you can cut over the gap here a bit, actually so much, like with all 4 wheels, that you can actually make it. I had to, however, use 2 of these nice flat blocks here and then put the more curved one here. I had, to my very first solution, one improvement at some point where I put such a block to here, so that I don't have this little extra airtime. No, but here it didn't really matter too much, I just had to do it. And yeah, it was quite obvious, no? After this checkpoint you want to go as tight as possible, so through the triangle you do just 1 block and this, I mean, first of all I did this wood turn, and so it ended here, and then I knew, okay, I need 1 platform turn. And the fastest way was to leave the platform block on the left side, so that the left wheels touch the ground early. You wanted to do that and not just jump. Jumping, you were landing further away. Yeah, and then obviously 1 corner block that leads into the middle, because I wanted to have this corner obviously towards the finish. And then this block was just the 1 block that was left. And it fits so perfectly with the block mix. I was only afraid of the fact that it's not high enough. It doesn't reach the finish. But I saw already that you can, for example, bounce against this and then get up, for example. Yeah, also there was always a way the car found a way into the finish. But when I then finally arrived here with good speed and had also finally a very good angle, so that I stayed far on the inside and had a direct basically way up here, I also just started jumping enough that I overcome this bottom finish like pillar. And that's it, like that was such a simple solution. I also tried, for example, in the break of the TTSC to do the other strat here, also to basically build Granadi's way and have a different ending, but I couldn't really find something nicely. For example, the booster strat, there was one guy that didn't build a block here and still managed to get through that booster, through that gap here. But still, even then, you have the issue that you just miss some blocks that you cannot. Also, I don't remember how exactly he built it, no? But it's generally an issue that the booster boosts you into this direction and you cannot really get a tight turn immediately. Like you are with that booster forced to go really outside, where you would need a lot more blocks, because this one here you cannot really reach. And that's like an issue. Like I think if I add here 1 more platform block, I still don't make it inside enough with a booster. So that's already an issue. That's why the booster strat was not really that viable for going here. And then you had, of course, this was much more difficult to build. It was not that obvious what the best way is to get from the wood into this checkpoint and into this checkpoint. And it was, of course, very, very difficult to figure out what the best strat here could be. Yeah, And there I would have struggled. I would have really struggled to find the best block mix here. But this solution, it was just so easy to build. It was just immediately there. My very first idea. Because I just started with logic and it just ended out working. It's so crazy. Yeah. It's so nice how this block fits in here. Really beautiful. Yeah, was it also a sausage block with a star trick? I mean, if I put it, wait, if I try to put it here, oh well, I think it would block me. I think it would block me, that was like the issue. I think this way it was. Not really, but it's close. It's certainly close. But the thing is, this fat block, no, is easily in the way in the last turn. Even if I just build it wrong here. I don't remember how it was. This way? I don't know. What the fuck? I cannot find it. Not that easily at least. And somehow all these blocks are gone. What the fuck? I just built one block. Naja. So, but that's my yeah, few sentences to this competition. It was really winnable. It was a bit annoying that I fucked it up like that. But yeah, it's interesting how logic it turned out. But in the end, the other way was also very fast, very similar fast. Just way more difficult to figure out the best strats there to get those times. And way more inconsistent to drive as well.